Hi everyone, today let's talk about the best trades on the board for the upcoming week. I'll talk about a couple of commodities including gold and silver as well as oil, and then I'll move on to a couple of different stocks including MRVL Technology, Wendy's as well as Yum Brands. If you like trading stocks and options and making money, definitely like and subscribe. I make videos like this as well as portfolio overviews every single week, so definitely hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Welcome to the Portfolio Bulletin. Let's get started. So starting with silver on the daily chart, you can see we're basically in the middle of this range. Not a bad place to be selling some puts. I continue to remain bullish. Looks like we're consolidating a little bit after this pretty strong bull run. And if you take a look at the 8-hour chart, you can see what this looks like. Strong bull run into a period of consolidation, continuing to test to that upside, and it looks like we're going to see a continuation up in the next week or two, which for me looks like an opportunity to continue to sell puts here, either in the short or mid terms, out to 45 days. Moving over to gold, you can see we've had a little bit of a sell-off here, coming off of the highs from late in May, and we're testing the 55 moving average here, and we're testing the 21 EMA right there at 175. This looks to be a bit of a buying opportunity to me, and if we go any lower here, it's certainly going to look bullish. Looking at the longer term charts here, you can see we had a nice strong run, a retest of this level, it looks like. 173 would be the 8 EMA here on the weekly chart. I think that'll be the lowest that we go before we see another strong push to the upside, as we saw a strong move all through last year into August, a taper into the end of the year, and then a nice strong pop up here in the last few months. Not quite as flat and uptrending as silver, and I am more bullish on silver, but I don't think this is the end of the up move we are seeing in gold. Looking at oil, you can see we've had a very strong uptrend all the way since the beginning of the year, going back all the way to October here where we had the lows and started that very strong run up to current prices. We then had a little bit of a hesitation at this line of resistance, crossed over that line, came back in, retested, and continued this strong bull run. Oil is continuing to be one of the best plays on the board for me. Selling weeklies or even longer term trades in here continues to be profitable, especially when we see these short-term dips even on the daily chart down to the 8 EMA. This continues to be a very strong uptrend. This does translate to any of the oil stocks like SLV or MRO. If you want to trade oil a little bit less directly, but this is USO, which is directly correlated with oil futures and continues to be one of the best plays on the board for short-term profits and even into the mid-term. In terms of my long-term profit goals for USO, I don't think we're going to see USO slow down until we get to pre-pandemic prices, which if you go here to the weekly chart, it's sitting out here at around $95. So there's definitely a lot of up room before USO runs out of steam, as I don't expect oil to slow down before we get up to at least close to those pre-pandemic demand levels, especially as Biden continues to taper the amount of oil that we are producing internally with the stopping of the XL Keystone pipeline, as well as the halt that he put on new drilling projects for at least the next 60 days. Moving over here to MRVL Technologies, this is a stock that I haven't really played yet, and I'm kind of upset that I hadn't seen it before. It's been running pretty dramatically over the past year or so, all the way from March of last year to current prices. Had a little bit of choppy motion here along with the rest of the growth sector, but it's pushing that upper ATR level right here at $52. And it looks to me like we're going to make new highs up past $50 or $58 over the next couple of weeks. This is a little bit more risky here in terms of selling puts while it's at that upper ATR level, but it is moving very quickly and it seems like it'll be able to sustain this movement for at least the next couple of weeks. If you look at the weekly chart, you can see there's definitely room all the way up to around $62 per share before we hit that upper ATR level. And with the ATR levels this far apart here on the weekly chart, there's definitely volatility, which helps us as option sellers. Moving over to Yum Brands here, you can see this is the weekly chart and we are well above pre-pandemic levels, which is here in March and late February of 2020, sitting at around $105 per share, and it's currently at $119, so starting to make new highs. Not all-time highs, which were set actually in September of 19, but we did test that and move above it slightly, and we're coming back down a little bit. Moving over to the daily chart, you can see we had that retest of the all-time highs, coming back down a little bit, and we've then bottomed, and it looks like we're making a move higher with a potential price target of around 123. This is definitely a good stock to play if you are an options trader, especially if you have a medium-sized account and you can take a naked position on here. You could really buy this stock quite a bit cheaper with options, and that will give you quite a bit of upside potential. Taking a look at that options chain just to see, you have earnings here on July 29th. So you could trade out to July 23rd. Or if you're really interested in owning this stock, you could go even across the earnings and buy the stock around 113, which if we look back at the chart here, you can see 113 is quite a bit below that lower ATR level, all the way down here, which are prices that we haven't seen since April. In my opinion, that would be a good entry point. And we could also look at that credit, you would get 90 cents. So you would effectively be buying the stock closer to 112. Again, looking at that chart, 112 is all the way down here, almost at that lowest EMA, which is the 144 EMA on the daily chart, which in my opinion is a good buying opportunity. If you really are interested in owning this stock, you could put in a ratio spread, selling 2 of the 113 puts and buying 1 of the 115 puts for a total credit of $1.45 or $145, which would give you a break-even price below $110, closer to $109.50. Again, putting you even below that 144 EMA, which looks like a very good buying opportunity for Yum Brands in my opinion. Moving on to Ford stock here, another one that I continue to remain very bullish on. You can see it had a massive run up to over $16 per share, and it's recently cooled off to just under $15.30. Still looks pretty overextended to the upside after this massive run off the announcement of the Ford Lightning F-150 electric pickup truck, but it still seems like this has some room to go. If you look back at the weekly chart, it does look like a very strong run up here recently, well above where we were before the pandemic, much higher than the pre-pandemic levels, which was around $10.50. Another product worth paying attention to here is TLT. This is the bond market. You can see we've had a very strong downtrend here on the weekly chart, getting slightly overextended here in March. Then we had a small bounce back up to the 144 EMA, where we seem to have stalled out. It makes sense to me that this is going to continue to the downside, in my opinion, as we continue to see inflation run wild, and people are going to expect much higher yields from their bonds in terms of keeping up with inflation. And I expect this long-term downtrend to continue after we've seen this very small bear market rally into a little bit of a bull trap. I think the very highest this could go here is 144.55 at the 144 EMA, which may take another week or two to get to. But once we hit that, I fully see a reaction coming where we will continue to see the downtrend move with a long-term price target for the 10-year bond yield at around 2%, which makes this a very opportune shorting period to sell some calls, in my opinion. Moving on to the last one of the day, eBay, another stock that continues to make new highs, sitting all the way up here at $67 per share after touching the 144 EMA here in the middle of April, down at $56 per share. So this stock definitely has some volatility, moving from that second ATR band all the way down to the lower third ATR band, and then all the way back up to the third upper ATR band. So this might be a little bit dangerous if you're going to sell some puts in here, but if you do want to own this stock, selling puts is a much better way than buying the stock here at all-time highs. But in my opinion, eBay definitely has some upward momentum and some much higher highs in its future. Let me know down in the comments section what you think of these types of videos. I think these stock pick videos and short-term explanations of technical analysis, as well as a little bit of fundamental analysis from my general research, seem like a good way to put out potential trades for the upcoming week, as well as a quick way to make everyone a little bit of money and sell some options. If there's any stocks you want me to take a look at, definitely throw those down in the comment section. I think this is going to become a little bit more regular of a video for me, as it fits into my timeline for making videos much better. As I mentioned in my previous video, my job is going to get much more busy here in the next couple of months, and my ability to make videos is going to be a little bit shorter, but hopefully videos like this can still be beneficial and a little bit easier for me to make. So definitely like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes, and have a great day.